bit more of a shot towards that mid game, but of course we are into champions like Gragas going to be taken off the board very early on by Complexity, and teammate banning away the Ziggs, of course.
And Nami being taken off the board. Don't want to let that sustained bottom lane go through, looking to pick on Dodo and Maple, and there's a Triss ban.
Yeah, and Nami's banned away because Dodo favors that champion almost exclusively. He loves playing that Nami, and we did read that Complexity just don't want him to have that comfort pick.
And the Nidalee ban, I find that so smart. Don't want to leave West Rice on this island top lane by himself.
Yep.
Also,
oh my goodness, the alley got through.
Yeah, so Aurelia taken off as the last ban. Alistair picked up first pick.
Yep, and this is 4.14 as well. He can headbutt auto attack, so that those Trinity Force Alistairs in the top lane could be a thing. Of course, we have only seen Alistair in the support role so far.
But it's very...
Yeah. What is this? Kha'Zix?
So the ambiguous pick is Alistair. It can go support, it can go top. You don't know what you're dealing with. We've both seen AP and AD Alistair as well in the top lane. Kha'Zix being hovered at the moment. That is the generic go-to jungle pick at the moment.
But coL has also played it in the top lane, so who knows what could happen. Yeah, actually, he could play anything in the top lane. We might have another Poppy.
When he did play at top lane, he used to go that R evolution and use that to take less damage and get around the top lane and find favorable trades. And they're also just locked in the Maokai. So
I have a feeling the tree is probably what's going to go up there, and leaving that tree open does mean that most of the time it is going to be picked up, and cow versus tree in the top lane. That could be the thing.
Yeah, and it could definitely turn into a slugfest if that is the case. Both of them have so much inbuilt sustain in their kit. Of course, Alistair with his E and then Maokai with his passive. Yeah. And they both turn into this mid-game tank that takes no damage with their ultimates, but then dish out so much to the enemy.
That's exactly right, and they're both massive CC bots as well, so you can imagine you can build real teamfight comps around these guys. And Prolly and Kez looking for their champions. Do you think Orianna could be a possibility here? No, it's actually going to be Lucian picked up here by Robert Exley, favoring that one over the Corki, not wanting to go for that with his current record of 0-7.
Yeah, I don't think
the easy mid-range 80 carry.
I don't think you can put too much into that record. I actually think he plays a very good Corki, and Maple Street looks like he will pick up a mid-game carry to try and match forces with this Lucian. And Slushie, Orianna, plays it so well.
Yeah, and it's his most played champion as well. Played it 6 times throughout the Challenger Series. So more than comfortable to sit on that one. Plus, we all know Twisted Advance plus that Shockwave, really, really strong. And Corki picked into Lucian. It's pretty standard. We saw this come out of the Unicorns of Love as well.
Yeah, and this matches teammates' playstyle to the T. Calitroll's going in, looking for the flank from Kha'Zix at the same time. Slushie can add all of the area effect with Maple Street there. In the mid-game, around Dragonflights, this team is terrifying.
We'll see what Complexity can do. They do have the Pulverized Yasuo combination available, but it's going to be Syndra picked up. And Prolly has been going nuts on this champion recently.
Yeah, Prolly can play a fantastic Syndra, hitting those long-range scatter the weak, and setting up picks for his team. With Bubadub on Thresh, that means if anyone is by themselves and they lose a little bit of vision control, with Lee Sin, with Syndra, there is so much individual damage in that combo that with just the 3 of them, they can pick off anyone.
Yep, scatter the weak and sentence them to death is basically what they're going to be doing. Last pick going to come through. That's going to be the Braum picked up. So Maple Street going to be joined by that big shielded man, that bottom lane.
And after talking how passive the bottom lane from Team A can be, we see a very aggressive combo coming out. Of course, Braum bringing a lot of early game utility into the lane. If he does hit that Winter's Bite, setting up the stun, as well as the amount of burst damage that comes out of the Phosphorus Bomb. Yeah,
Phosphorus Bomb plus Sheen auto attack, if Maple Street does get that one early on, just means almost half Lucian's health in that early game. So see whether they do manage to get those combinations down. But as far as these team fights are concerned, Team 8's team comp is ridiculous.
Yeah, Team 8's team fighting comp is very good, which means that vision across this map is going to be key the whole game. They need to ensure that they stick as 5, don't get picked off, and always have vision of that Syndra.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very scary. But if these team comps made you rethink your vote, you can always tweet at LOL eSports using the hashtag COLWin or T8Win, and we'll see in-game who you think will walk away with the series. And honestly, looking at the team comps already, Team 8's Siege isn't that strong. Is that going to be an issue?
Braum makes Team Siege
of course,
so much
the Unbreakable
already. He can just stand in front of your team with Unbreakable off. If he's a little bit tanky, get a little bit ahead. with the Sheen procs as well, they will be able to rip through turrets. I don't think that will be the issue at all. I think it will be more how the teams decide to play out this game. Will it be a heavy teamfight comp versus a pick comp?
Yeah.
Or will they decide that the Alistair needs to group up early, start initiations with that headbutt pulverize combo, and really just turn this into a slugfest?
Yeah, and I think a lot of it's going to be riding on these teleports as well in the top lane. Of course, Calitrolls gets a lot of his kills using that summoner spell. But we are onto the Rift, everyone, with Complexity on our blue side and Team 8 on our red side, wanting to be the second challenger team to make it into the LCS. Of course, Unicorns of Love with a 3-0 after that 0-2 start. So fantastic work. 3-0, like 3 wins in a row has got every team to the LCS so far.
Yeah, it just depends how you do it, I guess.
Exactly.
Of course, going down 0-2 definitely wasn't a tactic that they took into it, but managing to get the win in the end. So we can see that the teams are just fanning out at level 1, looking to get some deep wards.
And this is exactly what we've been seeing from game 1 here as well. It's just a lot of testing the water, a lot of seeing whether anyone wants to make any false moves, and a little bit safe play.
And both teams are petrifying to face check into. Braum,
yes,
of course, with that passive can set up a stun level 1. And then you have the hook and the pulverize on the side of Complexity. So if they were grouped to 5, you definitely do not want to walk into either side. So just spread out, get some wards down, ensure that you know where the jungler is going to start. Not as deep as we have been seeing. These are just all throughout the river. And it looks like both junglers will be starting on the top side, although a late invade might be coming down.
Yep, Dodo looking to potentially get some warding in that Tri-Brush. Robert is going to be able to spot that one out. Nice deep ward around the blue buff. So far, junglers looking to be both starting up the north. So do you think that could mean some level 3 action in the bottom lane?
I think that both junglers will look to get their first gank off in the mid lane.
Yep.
Kez, of course, to just try and get Proly ahead so he can become this lane bully. And then on the side of Porpoise Pops, he just wants to ensure that Slushy can get to that level 5, level 6, where he can clear out waves nice and quickly, and he's not in as much danger. So I look for them both to join up at the mid lane, one looking to gank, one for the counter gank, and see how that works out.
Of course, Proly on this Syndra, very, very scary when it comes to setting up those ganks. That Scatter the Weak combo with the Dark Sphere, just so much range in that situation. We saw it happening yesterday. It's very, very scary. But both of these blue buffs are going to be started off. It's actually going to be Porpoise Pops heading down to his blue buff. So what's hanging around his red? Not going to be the case. So opposite sides, but if they meet in the mid, it's all going to be fine.
Yeah, and this gives him the potential to gank top lane. Of course, Maokai, with that level 2, has so much CC. All 3 of his abilities at the moment add some form of CC, and Proly going aggressive, although taking some nice damage back from Slushy.
Yeah, Slushy's saying, nah, stop doing that. Of course, Orianna very, very strong, especially level 1, but now level 2 has been hit by both of these mid laners. Proly will be able to answer back. That Clockwork wind-up is just pretty frightening. Slushy doing a good job pushing this wave in as well and sort of forcing Proly to focus on CS rather than harassment.
Yeah, trying to ensure that Proly is extending mana to try and get the lane pushed back out and equalize, as opposed to doing CS. Doing a good job of being outside of his minion wave, so it's not getting back. And we can see that the first gank is towards the top side. However, a nice ward going out from Westeros. Porpoise Pops trying to come through the...
Westeros telling Calitrolls to get out of his lane. Westeros hanging back. Does have that flask, so he's going to be able to get a lot of that mana back. One of Alistair's issues is the fact that his abilities do use a lot of mana.
And the way Westeros plays the lane, it's just good to be able to sustain through. Alistair's not looking for solo kills early game. He's just like, guys, leave me up here. I've got enough sustain. I'll be fine. Just want to farm myself into that mid-game powerhouse, as Alistair can be.
Exactly right. Do you think that he is going to be going for this Triforce build, or do you think that something else may have developed here? As a nice play does land, there's the Death Sentence as well. Close range. Babadub taking not very much damage at all from this early game Phosphorus Bomb, so nice trade here from Complexity.
And already the exhaust burnt. That will be key for this matchup as it gets closer to level 4 and 5, as Lucian really starts scaling up with that Piercing Light. And that just means that Maple Street and Dodo need to play so much more carefully. Wow, nearly another Death Sentence coming through.
Yeah, that Death Sentence onto the minion, but it did die, so we can't say that he was wrong. Porpoise Pops coming in for another gank. The headbutt going to be real. There is the Twisted Advance onto Westeros. Doesn't have the ultimate yet, only level 4. There's a brilliant pulverized flash. Is it going to be enough? The triumphant roar. Porpoise Pops dives. picks up the kill, but a valiant effort from Westrise.
And it's not over yet. Broly, as well as Kez, heading up the river, trying to get something back in return.
Does have that flash. No mana on the Calytrols. Oh, there's the flash coming through as well. The Ignite's there. Porpoise buffs. Is he going to go down? Double buff. No, just the red buff for Broly, and Calytrols can't do anything. No mana. Red buff onto Syndra. That is so scary.
And great coordination on the side. As we have some more action in the bottom lane, nothing happened there, but complexity. Showing that they're behind their top laner, rotating up, giving up some farm in the mid lane, but making sure that they're there to support Westrise and not allow him to be picked on like that.
Look at the Lucian stats, 28, 28, 31, making sure that he's very even across the board. Not bad at all. And Westrise making his way back up to this lane, not going to use that teleport, going to make sure that he has that for a potential dragon fight, but Calytrols, he used his.
Yeah, looking to get back in lane as soon as possible. Quite an equal top lane still. However, Calytrols is closer to that Catalyst, so his big first item. Westrise has picked up a Doran's ring, so maybe we'll be looking for an AP build.
I've seen that one working, of course. A lot of people deciding to go with the Rod of Ages into Lichbane for a lot of extra damage. A bit of tankiness too.
And this bottom lane is starting to go heavily in the favor of complexity. Robert has already built a 17 CS advantage, and it's only 6 minutes through the game.
And we were talking about Maple Street, the fact that he likes to sit back, play passively in this lane, but Robert, he just wants to fight all the time, and Maple Street's really struggling just to play this farm style.
Yeah, and I think it's more that the supports love to fight. As we see Porpoise Puff stepping over a ward, we'll be able to get out of here nice and easily, just making sure there's some presence in the bottom side of the map. Now he knows that bush is definitely warded because he walked back over it.
Yeah, he's going to ward that one in return. Of course, that one's going to die very, very soon on the side of Complexity, but not going to get swept out. They don't really know what's going on. Of course, nice piercing light over the top of Dodo 8.
And another ward being placed in that brush, looking to stay aggressive. As I was saying, it's more that Bubadub just loves to go aggressive, and then Robert can follow up at will. He can pick when he wants to trade. If there's CS there, he can just leave it. If it's a good trade, he can go in and take it. And it looks like Westrise now is pushing up this lane and doing fine against Calytrols on a tanky champion.
Yeah, and that Maokai not picking up the kill as well, meaning that the deficit in that top lane not quite as bad for Westrise, and very deep pink ward being put down here in the red side jungle.
And a very rare brush to walk through.
Yeah.
When you walk around that side of the map, you generally come from the tower, so you miss that brush. So it gives a lot of deep information as we see the first blue buff being handed over to Slushy.
Kez will be picking that one up fairly soon as another headbutt auto attack going to come down onto Calytrols.
And these guys are at the stage of the game, level 6, they're just so beefy.
Yeah, and they don't get loose. It's just a wet noodle fight, isn't it?
They just can hit each other as much as they want.
Hilarious. Kez, he's going to be handing over this blue buff to Prolly as well. The drive-by pickup there with the Dark Sphere. Probably going to just loop-de-loop and head around here as well. So checking that brush, making sure there's no sneaky pinks. And there isn't. Chalices all around in that mid lane. We'll see where the first action does come. Westrise again. Oh, there's a reason why that headbutt auto attack was taken out of the game.
It's just such an obnoxious, harassing ability to be able to headbutt someone and punch them at the same time. And look at this, perfect vision of the red buff being picked up by Porpoise Pop. So once again, they'll have the timer on that.
Excellently placed pink ward as well, right on the edge of that brush to maximize the vision. Oh, Porpoise Pops, he's... Oh, he spotted it.
So that's why you A-move through brushes, so you get that. Oh, as Dodo...
nice playback here under Dodo. Oh, not quite managing to get the Relentless Pursuit out of that phosphorus bomb, but nice work by Robert Exley nonetheless.
And Westrise going Sheen first, so maybe it still will.
Yeah, it might be that Trinity Force.
Although he might just be looking for that for the headbutt auto attack combination.
Yep.
Look to chunk people even further down. And at this point, he's hard to gank 2v1 with that ultimate and the lack of CC coming out of Porpoise Pop. Once he gets tangled up with that entangling roots, he's just going to be able to ult, walk away. Probably impossible to kill, and will be lending so much to this early dragon fight.
Yeah, now of course both of these top laners adding a fair bit to that early dragon fight. Of course that Maelstrom being fantastic on the side of Calytrols as well. See whether it's going to be the coordinated team fight around that area that's going to really do to it for these teams. You can see there's really deep vision around the bottom side of the map for Complexity. Their vision game has been fantastic. As a nice hook does land onto Maple 3. Double play with the box there as well. There's the Glacial Fisher. Bubba going down low. There's a brilliant exhaust on Robert Exley to make sure that he doesn't pick up a kill. But Westrice is here. The teleports come through. Porpoise Pops is around. They ran out of minions.
Yeah, unfortunately missing
Sonic
the
Wave
pulverize there. Not going to follow up on that one. Kelly Trolls didn't teleport in there, so if they do look to fight this, he will be full health, but he's just roaming back towards top lane. So nothing coming from the first teleport. Potentially a dragon, but there's a ward right there. That's been spotted. Yep,
the teleport is, of course, available by Kelly Trolls. He's walking down. I need to get there earlier. There he is, right in the middle of this fight, exactly where Maokai potentially wants to be. Twisted advance onto Westrice. Does have that ultimate if he needs it. He's going to come through. There's the headbutt onto Maple Street. Gets him way out of this fight. That's going to be Porpoise Pops going down straight away. Robert, no, Broly picking up that kill. Nice three-man shockwave. So much damage on Complexity, but the double kill coming through from Broly. Robert Exley takes a cog to the head, but there's the stun. Little bit late onto Slushy. Ridiculous from Team 8. They come back in this fight 3-2.
And they're also low. The chase is on from Broly. No boots, unfortunately, so won't be able to pick that one up. And such a well-coordinated team fight from Team 8. You can see exactly how they like to brawl.
Yeah.
And that shockwave that came out from Slushy was enormous.
And he waited so patiently to get exactly the right one, too.
All right, let's take another look at this. So coL start up the dragon, and straight away Kelly just teleports in. He's in the thick of it, and now Complexity, unfortunately, is split. They look like they're starting to get the better of the fight, but then Slushy comes in, lands a beautiful three-man shockwave, and then just uses his passive Clockwork Wind-Up to pick up a kill onto Robert here. And unfortunately, there's nothing they can do to chase. 3 members escape on low health, but a one-team fight on the side of Team 8. They now have positional advantage. They're looking to pick themselves up a dragon.
Yep, Kez nowhere near this one, and Team 8 are going to be able to extend this lead from 400 to about 1,400. We shall see. Westrice does manage to get herded out of here. And Team 8 with a very strong early game play with a lot of scaling champions on this team as well.
And because of the way the team fights are going, Porpoise Pops is elected to go with his W evolution first for that poke, looking to get people low. As we see, this bottom turret is under heavy fire. This might go down this wave, and hook just missing. Porpoise Pops is bottom lane.
Porpoise Pops coming through, does walk through a ward. Nice auto attack from a caster minion, going to finish off the turret. So 1 turret for a dragon, theoretically, from that one. Kez behind Porpoise Pops here does pop a void spike to the face and decides he's going to walk the heck out of that.
And the team focus for Complexity right now looks to be around the middle lane, although now we see Westrice going to head back top, turn into more of a farm fest once again. Both of these teams want to group over objectives. Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if all game we saw these lulls, although Westrice is going in for another game.
See whether he can land the combo onto Slushy here. Does have the command protect. He's walking pretty quick too. That dissonance is going to help him out with that one. He's going to be able to try and pick up his red buff. Ooh, blue buff in fact manages to steal, does Kez.
Ooh, and dodge out of the shockwave. Well played from the jungler on the side of Complexity. Able to deny that from Slushy, who now is low on mana, just means that this turret may fall in the next couple of waves, although it looks like everyone's rotating over to it.
Right, Slushy still has his Athenes, so sitting on low mana isn't going to bother him too much, of course, with the scaling and mana regen on that one. Probably should be able to steal this one away. Blue buffs apiece, jungler in mid lane for Complexity. Still, 1,000 gold in the lead. That dragon doing work for Team 8. Trample by Westrice, helping him get these minions down to auto attack range. Look at that, perfect. Oh, done. So easy.
Great last hitting under the turret there from Westrice. Just making sure he was away.
Yeah.
But as I was saying, I would not be surprised with how much these teams both look to teamfight if they don't just control vision and wait for objectives to be up. Be that a blue buff as we just saw, or a dragon, or these turrets that they're looking to fight over. And otherwise, just go back to lane and farm up because both teams scale quite equally into the late game.
Oh, Dodo does get caught by that Death Sentence here as well. There's the stun coming down. The blocks by Bubba. He might have gotten a little bit overexcited. The culling coming through. Nice stand behind me. Does come out from Dodo to save his life. Slushy there for his team.
And with Dodo and Maple being slow low, that means that this might be in the mid turret.
Oh, there's the Death Sentence onto Slushy. He does manage to protect himself, but the ultimate's there. Robert Exley with the Light Slinger passive. That's going to be Bubba trading, though. A nice Glacial Fisher going to pick up that kill. Look at this turret, so low on health.
Yeah, next wave, that one will be going down. The wave clear from Slushy is so much more important than the support in Bubba. So advantage complexity on that fight, and they'll be able to pick themselves up another objective.
Nicely played. Controlling the map rather than controlling the money is the trade-off that you do get for taking these turrets instead of the dragons. Another bit of a battle in the top lane. Maelstrom gets popped. Westrice doesn't really care. coL doesn't care either. My goodness.
Just punching each other in the head.
Yeah, they certainly are. Hooves and branches flying everywhere. Now, MK's going to be picking up his blue buff here. Decides to finish off that Sightstone before his Spirit Stone.
Yeah, and this is just the emphasis that Kaz puts on vision around the map. Of course, playing with the Syndra, it becomes even more important to be able to do this. And as you said, able to get wards out everywhere. And as you can see, there is a lack of wards around the lower and top ends of the map. But around the mid lane, look at the vision control from both teams, just ensuring that they're not getting flanked.
Yeah, Teammate really knows that they have to stay on top of this vision, because if they start getting picked off, Complexity can turn this game around very, very quickly. coL's going to face check the cow. Oh, the Pulverize going to come through. The headbutt as well, but Bubba here. Twisted Advance coming down. Maelstrom, is he going to have enough tankiness? He's a bit of a beast. There's the Death Sentence, though, coming from Bubba. Westrice just wandering next to him. There's the headbutt. Robert's here as well. Westrice punts him in the head. Nice play here, and it's going to be the last outer turret going down for Complexity. Yeah, the map control by Complexity at the moment. We just mentioned how the top and bottom were lacking wards. It will mean that they're able to push the bottom lane in, but taking the last outer ring of the turrets for a pick comp like this is so important. It just opens up the whole map and means that their mid-game now can start rolling. Yeah, although Trinity Force Power Spike has been hit here by Maple Street. Do have the Avarice Blade being picked up before the Infinity Edge is finished off here for a little bit more money on Robert X. Lee. And he's still pushing in this top lane. Porpoise Pops looks to head him off, but some nice damage done there. And Maple Street, in the meanwhile, was able to pick up the bottom turret. And this is something that we've really got to look at. 155 CS to 122 there in that mid lane. 25 CS up, 3-0 and 1 now on Parali. Has his Void Staff already. This next fight is going to be so difficult for Team 8, because I think it probably could just take someone off the map instantly, and it doesn't matter who. Yeah, and with the gold being, they're equal in gold across the board, 25,000 gold each. However, a lot of that is focused onto the mid laner for Complexity, and what a better champion to get there. Oh, yeah. Syndra does so much damage, especially at this point in the game, once she has that second rank into her ultimate and not that much MR has been built up as of yet. Yep. She's just looking to delete someone. Oh, Porpoise Pops has found Kaz. Of course, not very tanky at this stage. Teleport actually coming through here from coL. Nice stun on the Dodo to make sure that nothing else could come of it. Teammate posturing around this dragon. It's going to be up in 2 seconds. And they've managed to secure themselves control of this area. There is a ward behind them, so look for Westrice to go to that one if they want to engage this. However, they are nervous and looks like they're going to push mid lane instead, maybe giving up this dragon for an objective. Oh, Kez is going to try and come in, but he doesn't manage to get it. Kez takes the Dark Lantern out of there. Has to blow Flash on the outside as well. What a great ult coming out of Dodo, ensuring that that was locked up straight away with as much CC as possible. There's a Twisted Advance. coL immediately getting caught up, and what I was saying about Syndra almost didn't apply, but he does get out of there. Ultimate was popped in order to make sure that he had as much damage reduction as possible. And a massive wave in the bottom that needs to be dealt with. Pelling coming through just to apply even more pressure. Robert X. Lee just wanting to fight all over the place. Does cop a rocket to the head. So she picks up his blue buff as well in the meantime, but not able to get into that bottom lane. So a whole minion wave has crashed into that turret, denying experience and gold to a member of Team 8. However, they've got another dragon. They're 1,000 gold in the lead. And coL, now with that Rod of Ages and a Chain Vest, is starting to ramp up. He certainly is. Complexity still playing as if they've got a real lead in this game, though. Just always confronting Team 8 whenever they can. Probably picking up his blue buff as well. And I think he's really going to have to step up this game, because he's got the money at this point. Yeah, and importantly, Infinity Edge has been finished now by Robert, so he's going to be looking to do even more damage, moving into that Static Shiv, or potentially the Ghost Blade. Oh, is the steal going to come through? Kez manages to pick up the red buff here as well, and proving the fact that he can actually steal things away. And look at the wave control from Complexity, ensuring all waves are pushing at the same time, just putting global map pressure
everywhere, and they're doing it through minion advantage.
Yep, there's the Vorpal Spike's going to come through. Pinkord going to be taken off the map, and Kez flying to Bubadub for a big hug. Maple Street now hanging around this mid lane, probably wanting to try and get a stun on someone. See whether they manage to land anything. There it is. Porpoise Pop's getting caught up. Phosphorus Bomb going to land on the Kez.
And the hook goes in.
There's the Death Sentence on Maple Street. That's the target that they want. A lot of damage coming down. Shockwave used on Bubadub. He's going to get taken for free. Brilliant pick from Teammate.
And a little bit of over-aggression from the support player on the side of Complexity there. Looking to create a pick for his team. In response, gets absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, that is going to be an ultimate down though. Nice stun getting come down from Prolly. Sushi not going to have that Shockwave for the next few seconds. Maybe a minute or so.
The culling not hitting anyone. So they've done a great job of securing this middle turret, and Westeros starting to lose out on a couple of these trades. Still don't think they can kill each other whatsoever, although the wave is now on Teammate's side of the map, and Calitrolls may be face-checking a Prolly.
Yeah, Prolly might be face-checking a Calitrolls as well. Who knows? Who knows who's face-checking who at this stage? Tree is going to walk back in there, does have that ward, so knows that nothing's going on.
Oh, and they're collapsing. Looks like they're all out safely. So once again, going back to this Farm Fest, and so far, the gold lead is extending in Teammate's favor.
Yeah, this push not quite working out here for Complexity. I think losing Bubadub wasn't part of their plan. That being said, his death sentences have been pretty good this game. We'll see whether Teammate can put the pressure on themselves. Now sort of their turn to make a play.
And the CS discrepancies are starting to come out in the areas we expected. Calitrolls nearly 30 CS up, and you can see how much healthier he is just because he's passive is what gives him sustain without having to use anything. Looking for a dive on Westeros with Maple Street here.
Oh, Bubadub's coming up here as well, though. Complexity have got here first. Maple Street tries to come through. There's the black box as well. Calitrolls so slow. Sonic Wave lands. Kez wants to be able to resonating strike him out of here, but Westeros picks up the kill. Good Teammate's going to give the cow another one.
And once again, the rotation into the top lane by Complexity has been what has secured them 2 good kills so far, ensuring they're up there helping Westeros out. They will lose a turret for this, but Robert will take one in return, and it's the tier 2.
Yeah,
no response coming
Dodo
through.
down here as well to try and stop him from taking this one. Does have the red buff, might actually be able to just kill him after taking it. So Maple Street going to take the top outer. The bottom inner going to be traded for on the side of Complexity. Now 4 turrets to 2. The map control from Complexity is fantastic.
And the next big fight will be in about a minute and a half. Dragon about to respawn.
Yep.
No vision control for either team around this area, so look for Kez to get down there and start trying to assert some control over the general area again.
And Teammate, Porpoise Pops, 2-2 and 4 now in comparison to 0-0-2 from Kez. 20 CS up as well, has a lot more money than this Lee Sin. Will we be seeing Porpoise Pops trying to make these plays coming through into this next Dragon fight? Because he's honestly stronger.
Yeah, at this point he is stronger, but Kez is just using his gold to help his team out. He's trying to get that control that we keep speaking about to ensure that their rotations around their map are getting them objectives. So maybe in the 1v1, Porpoise Pops will be stronger, but Kez is using his money to try and allow this split push top lane to happen and different things around the map to keep on occurring so that, honestly, Complexity haven't had to fight a 5v5 yet. Last Dragon, they just pushed mid. When the game came in top, they just went to the bottom lane. Now that they're trying to repel the mid lane, they're just going to the top lane. Fantastic movements around the map to ensure that these teams never have to meet head on.
Exactly right. And Westeros, now that he has that Trinity Force finished off as well, does do a lot of work to these turrets. Has taken out the inner turret in the top lane. And that inner turret in the mid lane was very, very low as well. And of course, being an inner turret, that's not going to regen.
Yeah, and they can send Westeros now into the bottom lane to deal with Calitrolls. Of course, being the AP, not going to be able to take the turrets as quickly. Picking themselves up a blue buff as well. However, Cali has a flank here. If they go too deep into Dragon, they might be in trouble.
Yeah, a lot of vision coming down.
Nicely recognizing that Cali had disappeared from the bottom lane, so just getting out of there. And it looks like Teammate will be starting up another Dragon. And once again, Complexity just don't want to fight. They're just going to give it for free, push mid.
Yep, they know the fact that Teammate has this fantastic comp. Be able to take those Dragons. Calitrol's going to tank up the Sonic Wave, and Kez not wanting to go in without the resonating strike. Ooh, Dodo with positional advantage, but Robert X Lee just going to take the inner turret on this one. Their map movements are fantastic, and knowing their comp's capabilities is brilliant out of Complexity.
The protection of the map that's coming out of coL and
Dodo
West
got caught here. Unbreakable, but that's not going to stop the death sentence. No, it is going to stop a lot of the damage. Maelstrom going to be popped by coLTrolls just to protect his support.
Just using Syndra to block up all these chokes back towards the mid lane is so smart. It just means that they can't get around and get into a good position to flank because of how strong coL is. Now with that needlessly large rod, can pretty much blow up anyone on the side of Team 8 and just ensuring his team gets objective after objective. That's now all the second ring of turrets out, so the map's even more open now. They can get some Baron control and start looking for some picks.
And it's exactly what Complexity want as well. They want control over this map, control over the vision so that they can set up, get a pick, and then get another objective. And that's going to be their ticket into the base. Nice stun onto coLTrolls, not necessarily the target that they want. Still asserting their dominance. Choking them out of their own jungle as well does give Complexity a bit more money, because they can take those camps over and over again while they're putting this pressure down in these lanes. But slow push in the top lane might mean Complexity has to rein it back a little.
Yeah, definitely sending up Westeros up there to deal with that. He's going for his Frozen Heart next, looking to get even tankier, and that will cap him out on CDR as well. Just using his abilities for so much CC, as we see him completely destroy a minion wave.
Yep, trampling that one through with his passive.
And 2-2-2 versus 0-2-4, both top laners trying to play the same role for their team.
Yeah.
And coLTrolls hasn't been able to get that far ahead. He's only 5 CS now. Westeros has really done a good job of equalizing that top lane.
Not to mention the fact that Complexity know that Team 8 revolve around coLTrolls. They revolve around his calls, and they've been focusing this top lane so well. Every time Westeros seems to be in trouble, his team's there to help out. But this outer turret in the mid lane is going to be going down. Death Sentence does land onto Dodo, but manages to stand behind the trouble. Oh, coL's in a lot of trouble. That's a lot of money off the board here as well. coLTrolls right in the middle of this fight. The Maelstrom protecting his team, but Robert X Lee managing to get auto attack after auto attack down. The flash being forced here, but amazing dissonance. Gonna stop Kez from living anymore. And another twisted advance. This is Team 8's team fight prowess coming through huge. Robert X Lee though picks up Maple Street, maybe a little bit aggressive, and oh, he wants these kills so much. Just that Ardent Blaze would have taken care of Porpoise Pops. He wants it. Robert X Lee, are you gonna be able to do it? But no, he's not. The A's coming through. coLTrolls with a brilliant bait with that twisted advance.
1 for 5. The aggression that comes out of Team 8 as soon as coLTrolls has position is...
He's going to go for the... Dude!
Another replay to potentially throw over to the analyst desk. The coordination that comes out of Team 8 when coLTrolls gets a flank.
Well, when they're together, when they're on their own...
Let's have another look at it. Probably out of position here, and Kez tries to protect him, but the Wombo combo comes out, picks up the mid laner, and then here, Westeros pops his ult, and the perfect response. They just kite back. They're like, okay, let's not fight while Westeros's ult is up. Kez unfortunately tries to re-engage and does get backed up. And now the ult's down. Once again, coLTrolls, let's go guys. Everyone straight back in. Juggling turret aggro. Maple Street goes a little bit aggressive and gets some unlucky crits right there. The last one, 436. He's able to be taken down, but just a well-fought team fight on the side of Team 8 will get a 5 for 1.
Fantastically well played.
And the TP's coming in from behind. This could be another team fight.
Yep, coLTrolls making another play around this map in Complexity. They've got nowhere to go here. Nice stun on a Porpoise Box, but there's the Maelstromed up tree in the middle of this fight. Probably forced to use that flash now. Dodo is coming through here as well.
He's gone too deep. He's in trouble now.
Yeah, we'll see whether he can make this one work. Robert X Lee, though, gets taken down so incredibly low. Look at how tanky this tree is. The ultimate being used on Dodo, but they traded their top laner. Bubadub's dead as well. Robert X Lee on such low health, and Kez is out of this one. This could mean a Baron for Team 8.
It looks like they're certainly setting up for it, although Westeros is only 20 seconds away, and he does have his teleport. Maybe we'll be able to stall this one out, but they had started up.
See whether this is the right decision. Of course, Barons have been misplays in the past. 5,000 gold is the lead for Team 8, though. They do have the advantage in this game.
And they are starting to chunk it down as well. This Baron's getting low. If they don't make a move quite soon, this is going to go down uncontested.
Probably wants to come around. He's got his eyes on Maple Street.
And
there's the son of the Cali Trolls, but that is going to be Porpoise Box picking that one up. Robert Exley, what are you doing? The double shockwave. Actually, no. He's going to be dead already. Westrash in the middle of everything, but he doesn't want to be here. Team 8, such coordination.
And we said that Complexity would be the more coordinated team towards the mid and late game, but look how well Team 8 fight. Able to pick up the Baron, another 2 kills, make that 3. They're really rolling now. 9,000 gold in the advantage.
Yeah, and they've got that Baron buff as well, and there's still turrets on this map. They can push this gold advantage even further, as we do see the replay coming through.
Okay, so this is the flank from the teleport for Cali Trolls. He jumps into the middle of the fight, and no one wants to hit him just because of how tanky he is. Here, I thought they'd actually overcommitted because I thought Dodo would go down much quicker. However, a few skill shots missing, he finally does fall, but by this time, Cali Trolls is still full health.
Oh yeah.
He's taken nothing, just CCing everyone with the cooldown reduction, gets it into a Baron for his team. They're going to be able to pick up another Dragon. 10,000 gold at 30 minutes when we were even at 24. This is just out of nowhere, a huge lead.
Gigantic turnaround, 2 back-to-back team fights of Baron. Another Dragon coming down for Team 8, and this is where they've been really making sure that they control the map, picking up these Dragons whenever they can. Westrice now caught out. There's the Void Spike's going to do a lot of damage as well. Unbreakable Will needing to be popped before any potential fight, so that's a big cooldown off the board.
Yeah, and a necessary one for turret dives, because that's one of the main things that they can't dive against, because Westrice can cause so much disruption under a turret, but now without that ultimate, they might just be able to blow him up and march on through.
Yeah, Prolly now does have that trinity of mid laner items in comparison to Slushy, who does have the Sonya's Hourglass. Westrice just telling Cali Trolls to get the heck out of his base. It's going to be fine, but look at that gold difference.
4 minutes.
Smashing it, Team 8.
Up to an 8,000 gold lead.
Just insane, spiking so much, and Team 8 now trying to put the pressure on themselves. Inhibitor turret going down solo. Look at it getting chunked by those Sheen procs. It's going to fall down. Cali Trolls trying to engage. Gets booted out of there though. Bubbled up now. So low. Westrice slowed down to high heaven. That's going to be a bit of a hula hoop for Slushy. Just saying, yep, going to take your inhibitor. Have a look at how pretty I am.
Just like the ballerina he is.
Oh yeah.
They will be able to rotate into this top lane, however, pick up another turret for their trouble. And as I said, this is the benefit of Corki. When you're in front, you can just bully your way onto turrets, but with those Trinity Force procs, just make such short work of them.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the 2 tanky frontliners with an Orianna just forces you back off a turret. You can't stand there unless you want to engage, because they're more than happy to jump on top of you.
And now, out of nowhere, we have an 11,000 gold lead here for Team 8. Now, double the kills of Complexity, and they've evened up the turrets. Fantastically well played, and with these super creeps streaming into Complexity's base as well, it's now up to Team 8 to finish out this game if they can. Or is it going to be Complexity putting on their stall shoes, getting to that super mega late game where anything can go anyway?
Well, Team 8's done exactly the right thing. They've ensured that they have deep wards. That means that if there's any bad rotations on the side of Complexity, they can pick off a person, and then they'll be in a position to just push through with how tanky their members are and clean up the inhibitor. They also have nearly got the teleport back up, meaning if they get wards inside the base, Cali Trolls, we've already seen him flank very deep once. He's even tankier now. He'll be able to teleport to something in the base, home guard up to someone, and absolutely crush them with his CC.
Yeah, and there's going to be so many twisted advances as well in the next fight because, of course, ooh, Dodo getting caught up by a few skill shots from Complexity, but they do not want to get outside of their base.
He is such a tanky man for a support. He's picked up the full locket as well as his face in the mountain and the sight zone. Another chain vest for good measure. He's the top laner nearly at this.
Yeah, he's the frontline tank. No worries at all. Of course, Infinity Edge being finished up by Maple Street after that Trinity Force. And a Vamp Scepter as well. Opting to go for those Sorcerer's Shoes as well to make sure that he optimizes his poke with that magic damage.
And once again, Cali Trolls nice and aggressive, looking for a flank.
Probably on half health. Looking
to get it started for his team, and they just can't deal with him. Westrice just keeps trying to push him back.
Yeah, trying to kick him out of this one. Actually, Dodo getting caught up, but Bubba Up didn't want to do that one. He just gets immediately removed. Nice flash twisted advance onto Robert Exley. That's the AD carry. He's trying to come back into this one. Brilliant exhaust. Dodo getting that one out. Twisted advance again from coLTrolls. That elixir of brilliance giving him all of that cooldown reduction, but he may have gone too deep. Sonic Wave resonating strike. Is he going to fall down? Kez takes up the kill. Dodo now in a lot of trouble, but Slushy, they managed to pick up the tower in the bottom lane. Decent stun. This could be Complexity's chances. Low health bars on teammate, but Westrice is going to fall. Maple Street picks up that kill. That is a 1 for 2. And coLTrolls took on the entire team by himself.
And they got exactly what they needed. They got the bottom lane turret. That means 2 exposed inhibitors now when the middle one respawns. And Bubba, we'll see it here. He tries to fend off the turret, and they just don't care. They're willing to dive with the Orianna. Look at the amount of CC that comes through, and he just gets crushed. coLTrolls comes through, CC's up Robert, unfortunately gets booted into the turrets after this by Westrice, who turns around and does a good job healing for his team. However, at this stage, they just collapse in and destroy the turret, and that's all they wanted, the objective into the middle of the base. Only giving up 1 death for it.
Yeah, and that's 4 people focusing down on Maokai for, I don't even know, that was about 2.5 minutes. Just would not die. Now with the captain boots, coLTrolls definitely is the playmaker for his team, making sure that everyone can get into these fights after him. Does definitely attest to his playstyle. Now 13,000 gold, sorry, is the lead for teammates. Still double the kill. It's getting a little bit more difficult as the game goes on.
And even though the CS discrepancy in the bottom lane is still profound, about 70 minions at this point, look at the items. Maple just allows himself to go even in lane, not give away any kills, not feed, not allow Robert to get really ahead. And even though he has all these farms, Maple is completely comfortable with his build. He's even gone a 3rd item defensive on Corki just because he doesn't want to get blown up in these fights. He understands it's his job to take down the structures and allow his team to engage and be the team fighters.
Yeah, and of course it's going to be so much harder for Prolly to be able to get rid of Maple Street as well. But teammate coming around for the flank, making the plays. There's the Glacial Fissure. Kez takes half of his health. Slushy, so much damage. The 2-man shockwave. Robert Exley, he's the next target. That's going to be the support. The bottom lane has been removed on the side of Complexity. And now teammate easily going to be able to take 2 inhibitors. I have a feeling this could be very close to the end of the game. Dodo chasing down the jungler here. And that's when you know you've got a problem.
And both inhibitors will fall. After getting bullied in the early game, Slushy has come up massive. His Orianna ults have been completely on point. The speed up to get people into the team fights just augment the flank so well. I do not think this champion will be seen for the rest of the series. He just plays Orianna terrifically. 8, 1, and 11. 19 kill participation in a 20 kill site.
That is absolutely ridiculous. And of course, it is his most played champion. That's what he was playing throughout the entire Challenger series, and he's demonstrated exactly why that is. Playing incredibly well. Now taking a dragon for his team, and Command Protect is definitely going to help him out on that front. Just getting as much money as they can. So, teammate just going to head back to base, purchase up some items, 16,000 gold in the lead. You can imagine that they could actually buy a fair few more.
And it looks like Complexity are looking at Baron, trying to get some control around that side of the map, although the teleport for Cali. Teleport is up in the bottom lane. He can just get that one pushing, although Super Creeps will do the job for him. He just needs to be with his team at the moment, because eventually these Super Creeps in the bottom lane are going to start crashing into the base. And at that point, I don't think Complexity can defend this anymore.
Yeah, teammate has a gigantic wave in the top lane as well. The last remaining turret they have, the last remaining inhibitor turret anyway. Complexity actually their way outside of their base here with 2 inhibitors down. They will have to start getting down to that bottom lane and fixing that one up, because there are super minions coming through. coLTrolls flanking around the side, might meet Kez, but you can see Complexity just really want to try and hold on to this game, and it's getting harder and harder.
And as the team fight gets longer, they're starting to channel even more farm into Robert now. He's got a 100 CS lead, but the Baron has been started up. There's wards everywhere. They don't even care. They just think they can burst this one down. And why not? Kez is in the bottom lane.
Yeah, no one from Complexity thinks that they can take this one. Now just going to give up the Baron, and now it's going to be even harder to turtle this one out. Trolls. There's a bit of troll. Having a bit of an animate off giggle. Yeah, a bit of a giggle.
As we see the whole of Team 8 now in the top lane, they're looking to take the last remaining turret, playing it extremely textbook. And at the moment, Complexity, super minions are inside their base. They can't defend this one. They might be looking towards the next game at this point.
Yeah, I think they might be concentrating on what the heck they can get rid of. And I think that, of course, that Orianna, nice double stun. Robert Exley going to try and cull out this way, but you can see this turret just needs to be sneezed on. It's going to be taken down.
And look at this. As all this is going on, and inhibitor turrets are under fire, so they have to send Robert back. That's all 3 inhibitors now. So many creeps. It's just a battle against the odds.
Yeah, that's going to be super creeps taking down the Nexus turret as well there. And here's the last fight. Complexity's health bars are melting. Look at the damage coming out from Team 8. There's going to be the shockwave just below. Westrice now is going to fall down as well. Team 8 with such a decisive win towards the end of this game, especially knowing exactly where they're strong. Teleport going to be used right in front of the Nexus. And congratulations, Team 8 take down game 1.
Wow, what a good team fighting comp they put together, and just able to crush in the mid-game fights. Complexity doing their best to rotate around the map and take objectives, but then Team 8 just got 2-3 fights in a row that they won extremely decisively, took the Baron, and were able to push through with a sheer item advantage.